Well, hello, everybody. This is Mike Brownell again at Day-Away Careers, this time with KT Michaelson, who is a recent graduate of the University of Michigan Business Program and now is studying carbon management at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. Talk to me, KT, a little bit just about the program. Where are you punching your ticket in terms of the coursework?
So there's three components. This first semester is all about getting the knowledge foundation. So we're taking classes on climate change within the context each of science, business, policy, and economics. Next semester, we focus on developing more specialized and applicable skill sets and learning more about specific issues such as law, mitigation, finance. And then we finish up the year by writing a dissertation over the summer. One of the great things about the program is that we don't learn just about climate change, but develop skills that make us really employable.
A question I get a lot now from students, undergrads that are graduating is, I'm thinking about going to grad school, but I'm not sure whether I should work a year or two first or roll right into it. Now, you were a business undergrad. Did you think much about that? And obviously, you made the choice to go straight to school. What was your decision process for doing that?
In my mind, I was thinking it'd be a lot easier for me just to add 1 year on to undergrad. When I have no attachments, I'm used to being in school. And that may not be the case a few years down the road. I see it in some of the students that are a little bit older in my class when, you can tell I've been in school mode and I automatically know how to do things, and they take a little bit longer because they're just getting back to the same old that they've been away from for a few years.
Did you look at other programs outside the U.S. and within the U.S.?
I just really like the idea of a very intense single year that ties everything I want to do together because I already had the background in business and climate change. So I looked at the UK and Australia. I found the application process between the UK and Australia very similar. With the UK, it's great. It's all online. Literally everything was sent online from my transcripts to my recommendations and the online applications. I think I heard back from the University of Edinburgh within, I want to say 3 days. It might have been at most 4, which totally caught me off guard. But it's a great Christmas present to myself.
Talk a little bit about the students you're in the program with.
Yeah, so my program has only 27 students in it. And there is a lot of diversity for 27 students. I'd say about half of us are coming straight from undergrad, while the other half are coming from anywhere from 1 to 20 years of work experience. Undergrads, people studied, I'd say for the most part, we have a lot of business and economics majors and a lot of geoscience majors, geography majors, which in the U.S. are basically your environmental science majors. Culturally, I'd say we have people representing more than a dozen countries, and we cover 5 continents. Geez, I'd hate to know how many. We probably speak more languages than we have people for.
Do you want to work in Europe? Is that sort of where you're headed with this, to intern or work permanently in Europe, or is the expectation, no, I just want to get right back to the States?
Getting a job in the UK or Europe, I don't think is going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be, just because of visa sponsorship. So even if I qualify and a company really likes me and wants to hire me, they're going to have to sponsor me for a visa. But I'm sort of going with the flow of things, and I think everything's going to work out. I'm hoping to get a job here just because there's so many more jobs here. Their policies are in place to drive businesses to hire people like me. Until the U.S. does stuff about climate change, really does stuff about renewable energy, we won't have global cooperation. We won't have a global solution for climate change. And so someday I do want to go back to the U.S. I just don't know if that someday is going to be 10 months from now or 10 years from now.
What have you seen so far in terms of a comparison between how Scotland is handling renewable energy compared to what you've been exposed to in the United States.
The biggest difference that I've noticed is culturally. We have a stigmatism in the U.S. about climate change because climate change in the U.S. really is more of a social issue. Here, the focus is on action. Last month, I was traveling through the Highlands. It was so cool seeing all the wind turbines. They're doing a lot with offshore and onshore wind, trying to invest in wave energy. So it's very refreshing to see action and them sticking to their policies.
What tips or advice would you have for, juniors or seniors, undergrads right now who are thinking about pursuing a master's degree abroad?
Everything is different abroad. I'm in Scotland. I came to Scotland because they speak English. That doesn't mean I can understand a word a local Scot says to me, either because of their accent or because their slang is so different, to put it mildly. The academic system here is very different, so it's important to really know about the program and what you want out of it, because this type of specialized intensive one-year master's isn't for everyone. And it's also important to know what you want out of it. Maybe if you want to do a PhD and you want to go into academia, you may want to go down a different path. It needs to feel right and be a good fit for what you're trying to do and get out of it. Scotland was a great fit for me because I could do my master's in a year. Like I said, it was English speaking. It's a great city. And they're doing so much around climate change and renewable energy. I think it's also important to keep in mind funding, which can be extremely difficult because we're now the international students. However, at least for schools in the UK, you can get US government federal student loans, which is really nice. It's also important to understand the cost of the program and cost of living in the country you're going to. Finally, studying abroad, particularly for your master's in adventure. So that's what you have to be prepared for.
KT, this is just outstanding advice. I know you are going to inspire a lot of people who listen to this and they admire you for what you're doing. So thank you very, very much for giving us your time.